Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Quantum Leap Morning Market Analysis and Trade Plan Setup for Thursday, September the 26th. My name's Doug McKay. You all know that because it's pretty much the same people in the room. But just in case you don't, my name's Doug McKay. If you want to come and check out the Quantum Leap room, you'll need a Skype account. You can send me a contact request at Doug_McKay. I'll be the one from Windsor, Ontario, Canada. Or just send me an email and I'll contact you through there. Got to get the disclaimer out of the way. I apologize this morning. I got a bit of an allergy attack going on, so if I sound really nasally or go into a sneezing fit, just bear with me. This information is for the purpose of educating members who want to expand their knowledge of the business of trading. It's not for trading or investment advice. You and only you are responsible for the trades or investment decisions you make. Trading futures or any instrument involves the risk of loss. Please consider carefully whether futures or options are appropriate to financial situation. Only risk capital should be used when trading futures or options. Investors could lose more than initial investment. Nobody at Quantum Leap is a certified trading advisor. We are retail traders operating within a self-organized learning environment. Past performance is not indicative of future results, and any trades you see in the room are for education purposes. Please trade your own plan and do your own due diligence. All right, let's get right to the numbers. Okay, our year high is still 1726.75, our all-time high. Remember, that's the full session all-time high and year high. The RTH is 1723.25. Our month open 1640.25. We have that high. Our month low 1630.75. Previous month we opened at 1685.50. Our previous month high 1705, which was that last all-time high and year high that we broke. Our previous month low 1624.75, and we closed at 1632.25. We opened the week at 1706.50. We have a week high of 1707.50 and a week low at 1684.50. Our previous week open was 1693. Our previous week high was the all-time high. Our previous week low, 1687.75, and our close was 1703.75. Going right over to the intraday, yesterday in Globex, we opened at 1692.25. We had a high of 1693.75. Keep a real careful look at this 93.50, 93.75. I think it's going to be a very important pivot for us today. Globex low 1687.25, and we opened at 1692.25. And you can see we're trending down on all our intraday numbers. We opened auction in range. We have normal variation. I'd like to call it an unnormal variation because it was extremely whippy. Our opening swing high 92.50, opening swing low 90.25 for a 2.25 point opening swing. Our initial balance high was our opening swing high at 1692.50. Our initial balance low 1684.50 for an 8-point initial balance. Our 1230 number was lower at 1690.50. Our RTH high was lower at 1695. Our RTH low was lower at 1684.50, and we had a lower close at 1686.25, and our VPOC was lower at 1688. And you can see these numbers are generally trending down. We had a tight range, 10.5 point range for the RTH and the Globex, the full session, and our Globex as well was tight at 6.5 points. Our full session high, 1695, full session low, 1684.50. Those were both put in the RTH. 20-day ATRs are tightening up, 13.33 on the RTH, 15.55 on the full session, and 7.93 on the Globex. Our Globex opened last night with 1686.50. You can see we keep getting a lower intraday numbers. Our European cash close was lower, 1693.50. Our value area high was lower, 1691. There's a lot of overlap in value, though, that we're trading. We'll take a look at that on the market profile chart. And our value area low was lower at 1686.50 for 4.5 point. And we broke the IB to the high side, outside of the pocket at 1018. Our extended session high 1687 and a quarter, extended session low 1686 and a quarter, and our settlement price was 1686 and a quarter for a 1 point range. Pretty tight ranges in the extended session, and slightly larger than normal volume, 1.4 and 1.6. But again, all these numbers being lower. Going over to the daily report, well, we traded and oscillated inside of the range yesterday, so there really wasn't any change in the numbers here. Significant LVN is 92.25, but I keep an eye again on this 93 and a quarter area, because that number keeps popping out at me. And then we've got naked microcomposite VPOPs, the big one being up at 1695 and the other one being down at 1675. Naked crosses, we took out the 95 yesterday and added 91 and a quarter. There was also one put in overnight at 1691.50, but because of the fact that we're having some big rotations, there isn't a lot of naked ones that we have to pay attention to this morning, other than those ones above us at 1704 area. Our naked VPOC, we didn't take out any. We added the 1688 from yesterday. News, we had unemployment claims. They came in higher. GDP, no real response from the market. We've got pending home sales and FOMC member and natural gas coming up this morning. And of course we've got headline risk. Excuse me for 1 second. Sorry, I had to blow my nose. Okay, looking at the macro to the micro for trends. Monthly trends still intact, good slope and separation, paralleling the 9 EMA very nicely. We're trading in the upper distribution and just above last month's open. On the weekly, I keep talking about the fact that we've had our first close on the weekly all year long a couple weeks ago. We also yesterday had something that we haven't done all year, and that's a 5th straight day of being down. But the weekly, we've got a possible head and shoulder pattern, but the slope and separation is still showing that the trend is intact. Going down to the daily, this is what I'm talking about. Up until yesterday, this was only the 3rd time this year. Here, and then here we had 4 days in a row that were red. This is the first time all year that we've had 5 down days in a row. Of course, now we're trading below the 9 EMA, but above the 20 SMA. We've lost slope, and we're currently coming up to try to break back above the 9 EMA. The question we have to ask ourselves is, are they going to give us a 6-day down and continue this trend down, or are they going to have a reversal day, considering that this is the first time this year that we've had so many down days. I don't think anybody can tell you exactly which way it's going to go yet. Going over to the geometric chart, you can see that we're below the center line of the modified shift fork that I put in a couple weeks ago, and we're currently underneath it, and a test of the center line will bring us 1697 area. Below us we've got an energy point down at that 1653, but we can very easily just chop around in here. But now that we're down below, and as long as we stay below this center line, we're likely to come down and test the lower line in this energy point. Going to the intraday numbers, 4 hour is definitely looking like it's trending down. We did come up and test the 20 SMA, but failed, came back down and closed below the 9. Currently we're trading just above the 9, and I think we're coming to a decision point here on a possible MA hug on the 4-hour. Going to the 30-minute. 30 minutes not giving us any information. We're just oscillating around and currently trading above the 9 and the 20, but we've got no slope and separation. Moving over to the composite, well, we tried to hold within the value area, the larger area in the lower distribution, and then the smaller 2-day balance area. The overall microcomposite is 95.75. The smaller one was 97, but we couldn't even get back up to the 95. We failed at we got to 95, we didn't get to 95.75, we failed off of that, and we came down, we closed outside of balance. We're currently trading at 90.50, so we're back inside, but we're barely back inside. We're kind of in this rejection area, near the gap zone between the key number at 95.75 and the other one being at 16.80 and a quarter, and then the 75 below. I think the line in the sand is still 87.50, even though we tried to break down below it once they got right to the 84 CHVN and just above the range from the prior balance area. Sellers kept on stepping in and buying it back, but they couldn't take it and continue the momentum upwards. Really two-sided market yesterday, and really tough to read. Let's take a look at what's overnight. Move our numbers over. Overnight we have a high of 93 and a quarter. Again, that area that I'm going to be watching today. And our overnight low is 86 and a quarter, which is just basically one tick below, right at the close. So a gap close will take out the overnight low and close the gap. But we're currently trading up here at 90 and a quarter. Our overnight VPOC is 89, so just above the 88 from yesterday. And we've got that naked cross that's put in at 91.50. Value area high from yesterday, 91. Value area low, 86.50, and we're trading right in balance. And it was a very balanced day yesterday, but it was, very two-sided within that balance. It was not, like I kept on saying, there's just a lot of whippiness back and forth in there. Areas that I'm going to be looking to do business today is going to be at the LVN, the significant LVN, and the open from yesterday. I'm going to be looking at possibility of a breakdown below 87, and I'm going to be looking down here at this 84, and if we can get through that 84 down to take out the gap at 82.50 and come down to the 80.50. This will be another trade area and target for me, and then the big one below is going to be the 75. Above, if we get through that 92.50, I'm looking for them to go up and test that 93 and a quarter overnight high in that 93.50, 93.75, and make a move up to the naked cross at 95. And then if we break out of the range from yesterday, I'll be looking for them to move up to take out the 97 and a quarter and go and test the 1700. So those are the areas that I'm looking for. It's pretty much the same as it is yesterday, and we could get another day where we just chop around in this zone. So I'm going to be very selective about my trades. make sure that I'm getting a clear indication on which way the market is going, because I just got chopped up yesterday. I ended up down 7.5 points, I believe, overall, and it's been a tough month, but we're working through it. And overall, I've got my swing short on right now. I gave back some points on it. My Theo is now running at 17.24. All my shorts can be in my swing account, and continuing to try to work this Theo. I think the market's telling us that it's got weakness coming in, but the bulls have not capitulated yet, and we haven't got our retrace. So I think they're going to make a push. I'd look for an early rally this morning to come up and test that 93 area again, possibly take out the overnight high and see if they can continue the move back up after 5 days down. But if they can't get through this 92 area and they come back down to that 87.50, I think this might be the time that they let it go and we get a move back down into that lower balance area around 80.25 and 75. Looking at gold really quickly, gold is still trading in this balance area. We're currently trading 1333. The number above is the 1340 CHVN with the value area high at 43.60. Other side of balance 45.10, and the real strong one is going to be this 1351.50. If we can get above that, I'm looking for a move up into the 63 area, 66, and 86 and 88, which is those numbers we were watching, the last little while when we were up in that balance zone. If they come down, the big number below, of course, is the microcomposite VPOC at 1318, with the other side of balance being down at 1304.30 with the value area low at 1307. If we get through there, I'm looking for a test of the 1300 and then a breakout down to test the microcomposite range low at 91.50, and the big number is still 1284.90, where I'm expecting buyers to come in and try to hold back up into the 1300. That's what I'm looking at. Howard, over to you.
Thank you, Doug. Let's go take a quick peek at the weekly chart. Okay, so there's 2 days left in this week for trading. So if the week were to end right where we are now, we would have a shooting star pattern last week with a bearish engulfing this week. So we'll see if that continues to form over the next 2 days or not. So that would be, a pretty bearish weekly pattern. Looking at the daily, we had our evening star pattern, which is comprised of these 3 candles, and we've had follow through for the next 3 days beyond that to confirm. Once we closed below the 9 EMA on the 23rd, we've had challenges but failed to close back above it. So the day before and yesterday, both challenged to try to get above and failed. Yesterday we had a lower low and closed below the prior day's low. And you can see over Globex we made another attempt at breaking above the 9 EMA on the daily and failed so far. We do have the 20 SMA up here, closing ranks. So this could provide some support. Right now it's down in the 1679 area. And just below that, the 50 SMA and the 6 to 7 area. So those would be the near-term support and resistance levels I'll be looking at on the daily chart. So looking at our market breadth, starting off with advanced declines and up-down volume, we see that advanced declines are still weakening along with price. They both top nearly at the same time, coming back close to the midpoint of 50%, where we would have equal numbers of advancing issues versus declining issues. NASDAQ is in red, NYSE is in blue. Up-down volume fairly similar. The NYSE is actually a little weaker in terms of up-down volume than it is in advanced declines, and both of these measures are on a 10-day average basis. NYSE is just above the midpoint right now and has actually crossed below the NASDAQ and looking weaker in terms of down volume. But so far, all of the counts are above the break-even, but approaching. So let's look at our sectors. We have a little bit of a mix. The home builders has actually been picking up strength over the last few days. Financials finished a bit higher yesterday. So it looks like all the remaining sectors were flat to lower. Looks like XLB, which is your materials, maybe just slightly higher on the day yesterday. So a little bit of a mix, but mostly the sectors were moving to the downside. And looking at Dow Transports here and the Dow Industrials here, we still have a fairly large separation, but they are moving in sync. They've both been drifting lower since the market reached its peak. The industrials actually started moving lower a day earlier. So with that, Doug, I think that's all I have. I can turn it back over to you.
Thanks, Howard. Mervyn, you wanted to see the geometric chart and look at the energy points. The big one below is in that 1653 and a quarter area. The one just above us is at 1710.75 and 1720. And then the big one above is at 1778.50 area. And then the one over here is 1683.94. But these ones are still in the futures. These three that I'm really paying attention to right now, with this one and this one being the closest. Now I can take a snapshot too if you want. There you go. All right, I'm going to go ahead and close the room down, and I'll repost the link in the level 2 and boot camp room. As always, trade well, trade safe, and we'll catch you on the flip side.